Good afternoon, Centenary family. I am just humbled by your generosity and your support of our efforts for the disaster response to our friends to the west with Hurricane Helene. I want to share a few facts with you just to kind of keep you apprised of what we've been doing. As I shared with you a few weeks ago, we took a trip to Silo, North Carolina, where we took 735 cubic feet of food and water to that community that was virtually cut off. And just this past week, we took another truckload of supplies, this time to Covenant Community United Methodist Church up in the Asheville area. It was 321 cubic feet of diapers, of water, food, and flood buckets, which was greatly needed in that community. Some of you saw my Facebook post where Sam Burleson and his wife Erin are co-pastors of that church, and they do an amazing job of taking these supplies that come in from churches like ours, organize it in some sense like a grocery store so that members of their community can come and get the supplies they need for themselves and for their neighbors. We continue to make flood buckets. Just yesterday alone, or last Wednesday I should say, we packed 80 flood buckets and are planning to pack another 75 in the week to come. Those flood buckets will be part of another trip up to the Covenant Community area, unless of course our conference tells us they need them in a different spot. But through your generosity, you have also raised over $67,000 for disaster response. We've already sent $52,000 of it to the annual conference to be used to purchase supplies, vehicles, material needed to help folks begin the recovery process. And as I've shared before, this is both a sprint and a middle distance run and a marathon. And we are in the process of transitioning from the sprint to the middle distance portion, while also with an eye on beginning to lay the groundwork for the marathon. So one of the other ways that we're in response is we're leaning on our connectional ministries. So our Reverend Oliver Helsebeck, who is our congregational care pastor, he is coordinating pastoral care in our community with other United Methodist ministers in the Forsyth County area for church members who are coming to the mountains to our hospitals and their pastors aren't able to get down and to visit with them. So this is another example of how our United Methodist connection is at work. We're already beginning to lay the groundwork for emergency response teams and disaster response trips in that area. There are 13 members of our congregation who have received the required emergency response training, and we're starting to lay the plans for those trips in the coming weeks, and you'll hear more about those. And finally, we continue to think about ways that we can be in ministry out west, but also how we are in ministry here in our community. Just a week or so ago, we had a blood drive where we collected 26 units of blood. We also sent a mission team into the Caldwell County area. While not affected by the flood, it was an opportunity for folks to do hands-on work, to build wheelchair ramps and other access opportunities for residents in that area through a ministry called Carolina Cross Connection. So I'm thankful for you, for your commitment for us to be the hands and feet of Christ with an outward focus. Continue to watch the Tuesday emails and Thursday emails, as well as the Sunday bulletin, about ways that you can be involved in our disaster response and mission focus. Blessings to you and your family.